Joined hundreds of budding politicians in the House of Commons today. They were discussing subjects voted for by their peers. On the agenda, sex education and university tuition fees.
Yesterday it was the likes of Cameron and Clegg. Today, budding young parliamentarians took to the chambers. And outside Westminster this morning, the anticipation was building.
It's something I want to do, obviously, when I'm older, so it's an amazing opportunity.
We are the future of the country, and if they don't listen to us, then when we come into that position, we're then not going to listen to our young people.
We're the only people, apart from MPs, that are allowed to debate in the chamber, so it's really exciting.
Then a coffee at Westminster Hall before the debating began.
Keeping them in education for 2 more years might help them to gain an idea.
And this year, with budget cuts to youth organisations looming, the chance to be heard was even more important.
There will be some demanding times on organisations like UK Youth Parliament and in the local and regional level over the coming months, but hopefully, you know, we've got some very determined young people there that they will keep motivated enough to carry this on.
A break for lunch and a morning of debating made them hungry for more.
Felt really, really good. Nice to get my voice heard, and the points that I had to mention I'm really passionate about, and they came across the way I wanted them to be.
We're trying to put across that they shouldn't cut us too much because it's a really important thing for young people to get their voices heard. And I suppose it's just a good thing to show that we are heard, that we're allowed in the House of Commons, and that we are valued.
So who knows, among these young people there could be a future Prime Minister. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East, Westminster.
Campaigners are claiming victory in a long-running fight to improve services on the railway line between Ipswich and Lowestoft. There are 30 miles of single track, which limits the service to 1 train every 2 hours. But the government has approved a plan for a loop at Beccles to allow trains to pass. £615,000 will be spent on 13 new playgrounds in Essex. The money has been allocated following the government's comprehensive spending review. The projects are spread across the county and include Witham Town Park Playground, which will be used by local schools, and the wider community.
Now, if you've ever tried carving a Halloween pumpkin, the chances are you'll have done a traditional scary face. But some people have taken it to a new level. Dave Finkel from Essex has turned pumpkin carving into an art form.
Dave Finkel isn't so much a man who carves large vegetables, he's more an artist. A lecturer in agriculture by profession, Dave's love for this annual activity started, like most good things, with a boozy night down the local.
A few of us decided to have a pumpkin growing and carving competition. A few of us bought some seeds and the money went to a charity, basically.
And it grew from there?
Literally grew from there, yeah.
But how on earth did you make such intricate designs on a pumpkin?
Anything that you can
now
imagine,
Dave is pretty much the last word in pumpkin carving, and a man much in demand. He was on Blue Peter this week, and on Sunday you'll be able to see him attempt 2 pumpkin carving world records on Country File.
So you are kind of Britain's best known pumpkin carver?
Britain's, yeah. I want the world's best carver. That's what I want.
For Look East, Dave did Robert Pattinson, the star of the Twilight films. Each carving of this type takes 2 or 3 hours, and this is the result. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Essex.
One of the bus companies due to run services on the new Cambridge guided busway has spoken of its frustration at the delays in the project. Earlier this week, we brought you an exclusive interview with the contractors behind the scheme.
You probably remember the project is 18 months late, over budget, and both sides agree on just one thing: it'll probably need sorting out in the courts.
One of 20 new buses bought by Stagecoach to run on the guided busway, part of their £3 million investment. So far, the route's cost them £1 million in lost revenue, and they still don't know when it's going to open.
I understand that part of the problems can't be fixed without closing the guideway,
and I think that would be a big mistake. So we need to get that part of it rectified first. Anything that's sort of off guideway could probably be dealt with at a later time.
In an exclusive interview this week, the company building the bus route told Look East it was ready.
In our opinion, there's nothing there stopping the buses running.
And Stagecoach agree. They say they've done at least 50 test runs along this track and everything runs fine. The trouble is the county council say there's 6 defects and they won't take control of the route until they're fixed. Among the defects, cycle routes that flood, concerns over the track's foundations and a bridge where water seeps through.
The comments that were made in the media about water splashing on the steel beams was because people were looking at it before it was fully constructed, just before we enclosed the gutter arrangement. So I think that's looking at something in temporary state, which isn't the right time to judge it. Let's see it now in the permanent works. And that is the right type of solution. Our design is very clear, and we're retaining the liability for that, responsibility for that being the right design.
The council agree buses could run, but things need to be fixed first. They say either by the existing contractor or, if necessary, a new one. Mike Cartwright, BBC Look East, Cambridge.
Now, of course, it's Halloween this weekend, and it's another busy one for sport as well.
All our